What is up, everybody? Josh here again, and today we have an Icarus Week 145 update. This week we get 2 brand new saddles with temperature modifiers on them, as well as 3 brand new plows for your seating cart. We also get 7 brand new collars and 10 brand new reticules that you can modify for your shooting needs in Icarus, as well as some news about some operations coming to Olympus next week. Let's get into it, shall we? Icarus Week 145 brings new saddles and plows. So we get new saddles and plows this week. We get a new Arctic and desert saddle, as a matter of fact, as well as different seating cart plows. The purpose of these saddles is to raise the relevant temperature resistances of your mounts. It gives you extra support while traversing Icarus. And the attachments give a extra buff to seating carts. Here's something that is really amazing as well that they finally added into the game. I've been waiting for a long time under notable improvements. You'll notice they have added the ability to modify the crosshair. Its size, shape, and color. Oh my god. Oh my god. Another little thing they mentioned here is that the crop plot, you shouldn't see that annoying crop plot bug that we had before. And the guano recipes for biofuel and basic fertilizer volatile substance now use far less guano than they used to. And you can finally upgrade steel building roof pieces. So let's start with the crosshairs, shall we? So under the settings, so if you hit escape in your game or whenever you're in the main menu and go to settings, you're going to go to gameplay, and down at the very bottom of gameplay you're going to notice under user interface here there's now an option for crosshair color and crosshair style. So we do have multiple different colors available, which is white, red, green, blue, yellow, pink, cyan, and black, as well as a dot, chevron, circle, cross, plus, diamond, notch, scope, bullseye, spread, and target. We're going to show you real quick what those look like. Of course, white dot is the default crosshair. You can see it right there in the middle of the screen. And of course, you could change it to any color you want. My favorite so far is probably green. We have the chevron, which at the very tip is going to be your point where you aim. Of course, whenever you zoom in, it looks like you get the iron sights instead of the reticule. Just to let you know. We also have the circle, the cross, the plus, the diamond, which is interesting, the notched, which is a pretty typical reticule. We also have the scope, the bullseye, this is called spread, and lastly, target. And of course, you can just change it anytime you want. You can change it to whatever option you want, as well as whatever color you want. Like cyan. That's what cyan looks like, which is probably kind of hard to read. But or blue, which is going to be even worse, I think, than white. But maybe not in the Arctic. Who knows? I'm probably going to stick with this, I think. This is probably my favorite. And as mentioned, there is a huge cut on cost to guano. Guano used to be 10 guano per for biofuel, where it'd give you 500 biofuel per guano. Now, all you need is 2 guano for 500 biofuel. So they've definitely cut that by way more than half. Same thing goes for volatile substance. It used to be 5, now it's 2. And also, instead of 5 guano for basic fertilizer, it's now just 1 and 10 dirt. Of course, finally, the upgrading of the steel roof. And now you can upgrade the steel roof, like so. But it doesn't include the roof slamp for the steel. Also this week, they've added 3 new recipes into the Tier 2 blueprints, or tech tree, that you can unlock. We have the farming cart attachments, which is basically steel plow, platinum plow, and titanium plow, and we'll show you what all those do. They are crafted at the ranching station, in case you're wondering. So these are new little plows that you can add on to the farming cart. We also have 2 brand new saddles, and that was the Arctic riding saddle. This gives a plus 10% cold resistance, and of course the original plus 2 mount cargo inventory slot and plus 1 mount heavy cargo inventory slot. So that is a new looking saddle. It just takes leather, fur, and rope to make, so it's not too bad. And the desert riding saddle as well. It does give plus 10% heat resistance, and the other basic saddle perks that have been on the saddles forever. We can actually craft that for leather, fur, and rope as well. So those are 2 saddles that you can craft now at the ranching station. So just adding the 2 saddles and the plowing carts is not the only thing they did this week. They also changed what some of the saddles are, which go over some of the saddle stats. So the Arctic Explorer saddle, these are available in the Creature's Comfort DLC, in case you're wondering. It now gives plus 10% cold resistance, just like the brand new Arctic Riding saddle. So basically 10% cold resistance on that, and you also got 10% cold resistance on this. So they're exactly the same as the ones that was in the Creature Comfort DLC. The Desert Riding saddle, of course, heat resistance and those 2 other stats, and same thing with the Desert Tracker saddle. Now, the other Creature Comforts are quite interesting. Now, let's notice that there is a plus 5% physical resistance now on armored saddles from the Creature Comfort DLC, and Sandworm will give you plus 10% chance to resist poison. On the Crocodile, you have a 10% chance to resist poison as well, and a Deluxe Leather saddle gives plus 3 cargo mount slots instead of just 2. The Bear Hide saddle will give movement speed, so if you want to move faster with your mount, plus 5% movement speed with the Bear Hide saddle is what you want. As well as the Racing saddle, it does the exact same. They're basically exactly the same. The Bear and the Racing saddle are just identical as far as stats go. They give you plus 5% movement speed. Also, the Leica's jumpsuit, which was for the dogs, it does give a melee resistance of 10% now also. So that's going over some of the changes. Let's go over the actual new items that are located in the very bottom of the ranching station you'll see here. So of course we crafted these 2. There's really not much special about them except for their heat and cold resistance to those. Let's take a look at the seeding plows. So we have seeding cart steel plow, and this is going to be steel ingots, epoxy rope, and refined wood. I think they all require epoxy rope and refined wood, and of course require the material that they are. So for example, steel makes steel, platinum requires platinum, and of course titanium requires fairy dust. And you'll notice a new little icon that says you can attach it to a plow with a little plow symbol right there at the bottom of it. So what's the difference between these new plows? So the difference between it is what tier storms they resist. The steel plow will resist tier 2 storms. You also have the seeding cart platinum plow, which will resist tier 3 storms, but it also gives a plus 10% planted crop yield. And we also have the titanium, which is plus 20% planted crop yield and will resist tier 4 storms. So we're gonna make one of each of these. Let's start with the seed plows and show you how those work and how they kind of harvest stuff. We're going to harvest a little bit of sugar here. We're going to hold E to examine, and on our beefalo here, we're going to throw on the seeding cart, which is of course, the cart that does all the seeding and stuff. Looks like it's kind of glitched. Or in the ground still, which I think it happens on our dedicated server as well. So we have the seeding cart here, and when you hop on, you'll see there's no plow attached. It says no plow attached. So if you were to hit X to toggle the cart on and off, it's not going to let you. It's going to give you a little error notification telling you have no plow, which means you have to put a plow in your seeding cart. You cannot plow just straight up with a plow now. So you have to put a plow in your seeding cart now. And that is located right below the seeding cart right here. So you could put either the steel and it will update the steel plow. I don't know. I can't see it inside of it's inside of the ground if it looks different. There you go. It looks like it might have just been the buffalo that was bugged. So we put it on this buffalo, and now you're going to see that this buffalo well, it's off the ground. Whatever. The buffalo now has a steel plow on it, and that's kind of what the steel plow looks like. So another cool thing about the seeding cart is if you take the seeding cart out, it will actually keep the plow that you had in it before. So if you want to switch between plows here, you can switch them, and then you can actually take the cart off, and then say, for example, put another cart on the buffalo. And of course, all you got to do is throw your seeding cart on the animal, throw some dirt and whatever seeds you want planted in there, and they'll start planting seeds whenever you hit X. So we're just going to go ahead and plant with the best plow that's in the game, which is titanium right now. And you can see it right there. It's installed the titanium. We do have the other plows here, but no real purpose in those. Just to kind of show you guys what they look like. They do look very similar to the other ones. This one is, I don't know, it's bugged again. Seems like it's in the ground again, so really can't see it, unfortunately. But we're going to hit X, and we're going to go ahead and start planting some seeds behind us, as you can see. And these are all tier 4 storm resistant. So if we have a tier 4 storm, we're going to be able to resist those actually taking damage in a tier 4 storm. Now, we are on a hard prospect, so tier 4 storm is basically what we get all the time. So this is going to be probably useless for me still up to this date. I mean, yeah, it's a great addition to the game if you do a lot of mass harvesting out on your easy or normal prospects, but yeah, this is going to be still kind of irrelevant for hard prospects or hardcore. Because you're going to get storms that's going to damage your crops still. So these right here were planted with the shovel, the excavator, and you can see they can resist all the way up to tier 8 storms, which is nuts. But the highest you can get with a cart right now is, instead of 2, it's 4 now. So it is a little bit better. Of course, these right here, they were just planted with the regular steel, which is tier 2. And also, after a while, it looks like the plows do get damaged. I don't see a way to actually repair it in the ranching station where you make it. Looks like there is no right-click option to repair it. So it just damages and I guess destroys after a while. So yeah, if you're into the cart farming and all that, and you're on a kind of a lower level prospect, and you got like a lot of holes to fill, or you know, something like that, then maybe you can do a lot of farming here. I think we even have the seeding cart inactive, and it's still planting, it looks like. In the bottom right, you see it's inactive, and it's still planting, so be careful of that as well. We just have seeds in the back of the cart there. So if you have seeds in the back of the cart, it looks like it's going to automatically plant whether you like it or not, which is interesting. So we're going to go ahead and grab our, well, not him, but grab our moa. So it actually looks like it's not even letting me put, I can put the Arctic saddle on it, which will actually increase its stats. If you click on its stats here, show more. You can click on show more and you can see your cold resistance right here. It's plus another 10% cold resistance. That means up in the Arctic, you won't be cold. Of course, when you're cold, you move slower. So you definitely don't want your mount to be moving slower. But it looks like it actually cannot put the desert riding saddle on a moa for some reason. Let's see if it'll let you put it on something else. Maybe it's just a bug. It is letting me put it on a zebra. Both of them, which is quite interesting. Of course, we got a storm going on, but show must go on, so we're going to show you what the Arctic saddle looks like on the zebra, and this is what it looks like. Looks pretty good, actually. Not too bad. And this is the desert variety, and what it looks like. So it's a pretty neat looking little saddle there. This will keep your mounts temperature appropriate for whatever biome you're going to. Also this week they say Null sector coming soon. Do not give a date for it, and they pretty much mention it's the same thing it's been every single week. So the Null sector is coming when it comes, I guess. So next week we're getting Olympus operations. They're making some missions into operations next week that aren't already in Olympus, so look forward to that next week. Also, at this time we're going to go ahead and skim over the changelog, see if there's anything important in there that we have missed or something noteworthy. So that was 7 colors and 10 styles that we got this week. So they fixed grenades. They made an accidental change last week that was for the Molotov, but it ended up being grenades as well, so grenades should work now this week. All grenades, hopefully. They may have improved the visuals for the biofuel lamp as well, and helmet glass is now opaque. Looks like they added inventories to bookshelves that did not have them. Items not visually shown on the shelves. I mean, you can actually place something in a shelf now. Looks like they re-added also the concrete ramp piece, the inverted one, the concrete ramp option. Move on to future content, see if there's anything in there. They mention a ton of the NPCs that we've been seeing in the Null zone, and they now have dialogue and all that good stuff. Here's something interesting. Added a new system, devlock for now, keyword, that allows modifying and configuring specific world stats on a per save game basis via the in-game settings menu. And a hammerhead slug grenade. Looks like there's going to be some kind of bunker and a toilet and teddy bear. And that's it for that. Also, have you seen our interview that we had with the devs? We did have a full video on the channel. Check it out. We'll put a link in the description down below and probably a tag up in the top of the screen now if those work. Sometimes they don't. Check that out. And that's going to be it for this video. Don't forget, if you like what you see, to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Subscribing will get you weekly Icarus update videos, as well as content videos whenever those come out as well. We will be streaming this Friday for sure. We'll be in the Null zone again, so there will be spoilers this week. But check it out if you're interested in the new Null zone coming up. And hopefully, we'll see you next time. Peace.